Welcome back to the deep dive. I want you to picture something. It's, say, 1992. You're in your school cafeteria, and up on the wall is that poster of the food pyramid.
Oh, I remember it vividly.
And the base, the biggest part, was bread, cereal, pasta. It recommended 6 to 11 servings a day.
6 to 11. It sounds insane now.
It really does. And that brings us to the question for today. We've got a Reddit thread breaking down that old pyramid, a pretty dense research paper on ultra-processed food addiction, and some clinical guides for eating disorder recovery.
A real mix of sources.
And the mission is to figure out why eating healthy feels so hard.
Right.
I mean, is it just a lack of willpower, or is the whole system kind of rigged against us?
Well, when you stack these sources up, the answer isn't really about willpower. It's about design. We're looking at a collision of government policy, corporate lobbying, and, frankly, biology.
Okay, so let's start with the policy, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Why on earth does the government tell us to eat an entire loaf of bread a day?
This is where that Reddit thread was so good. It points to a huge conflict of interest. The USDA is the Department of Agriculture. Their primary job is to sell crops.
Right, not necessarily public health.
And in the early 90s, they had a massive surplus of subsidized crops like corn and wheat. So that pyramid base was, an economic solution.
So it wasn't a health guide so much as a sales brochure for American grain.
In a way, yeah. But there's another detail in there that screwed us up even more. It's the confusion between a serving and a portion.
Ah, the bagel problem. I saw
Exactly, the bagel problem. In the 1992 guide, a serving was one slice of bread, or half a bagel.
half a bagel. The bagels I see today are the size of my head.
Right, so you eat one modern bagel, thinking one serving, but you've actually just had 4, maybe 5 servings of carbs. You've almost hit your daily limit before 9 a.m.
And that's just the start. This is where the story gets a lot darker. We have this research paper on ultra-processed foods, or UPFs, and it mentions a name I never expected to see. Philip Morris.
The tobacco company. This is the turning point. In the 1980s, tobacco giants like Philip Morris started buying huge food companies. Think Kraft, General Foods.
Wait, what does that even mean? What kind of technology do you transfer from cigarettes to, mac and cheese?
It means optimization. They took the science they used to make cigarettes addictive and they applied it to food. They engineered for hyperpalatability.
Hyperpalatability.
Meaning they used additives, colors, flavor enhancers, all designed to hit the brain's reward center as hard and as fast as possible.
The paper uses a term, pharmacokinetic properties. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, think of it like the speed of delivery for a drug. The faster it hits the brain, the more addictive it is. They engineered these foods for rapid absorption, so the sugar and fat from a chip hits your dopamine system with a speed that a whole big potato just can't match.
So when you can't eat just one, it's not a personal failing. The chip literally hijacked your brain's stop signal.
That's what the science suggests. And the numbers are staggering. About 14% of adults and, get this, 15% of kids now show clinical signs of addiction to these foods.
Including withdrawal.
Irritability, anxiety, the works when they try to stop.
Wow. Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the recovery guides. If the food is designed to hook us, how are people trying to get unhooked?
Well, often by swinging to the complete opposite extreme. The guides specifically warn about diet foods and fillers.
You mean like diet soda, artificial sweeteners, that kind of thing?
Exactly. Or just filling up on, pounds of raw vegetables to feel full. It's the whole low-fat trap from the 90s all over again.
The same trap the pyramid set for us.
Right. We were told fat was the enemy, so we bought low-fat processed foods that were packed with sugar and additives. But the clinical guides are clear. We need fat to absorb essential vitamins like A, D, E, and K.
So in trying to be healthy, we might actually be starving our bodies of key nutrients.
And destroying our metabolism. When you replace healthy fats with all those processed carbs, your insulin is constantly spiking. That drives insulin resistance, which tells your body to store more fat. It's a vicious cycle.
So to recap, we have confusing government guidelines built on crop surpluses, a food supply engineered by tobacco scientists to be addictive, and a diet culture that pushes the wrong solutions.
It really reframes the whole personal responsibility argument, doesn't it? You can't just tell someone to play the game harder when the game itself is rigged.
Which leaves us with one last kind of provocative thought. If we know these foods were designed using the tobacco playbook, and 15% of kids are showing signs of addiction, shouldn't we start thinking about regulating the cereal aisle, the same way we regulate the cigarette counter.
That is a conversation we absolutely need to be having.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.